If you look at that particular interview, it wasn't necessary for the former president to well, make any mention of other places where we have where they have some challenges. Now, he's been asked about Nigeria. Don't forget that he personally decided to take the carrots to the Boko Haram people once in the country, and we all saw that. If that was followed up by the government of the day, don't you think perhaps he was speaking from what he experienced or gathered on that particular trip, we would have been out of this particular trouble?
Comrade Sheikh Hussaini confessed yesterday in the Nigerian Police Security Summit where I was a discussant. And he said that he took the former president to see some members of Boko Haram in Borno State. And the resultant effect, if you read the newspapers, and I still remember the news flash on Channels Television, that the man Obasanjo went to see was shot 2 days after. Now, if he was shot, what opportunity is there for federal government to continue discussing with the same people he went to meet? I think this is simply a cheap publicity, and it is quite unfortunate. We are custodians of records in this country. Let us not pretend as if we are all suffering from amnesia, because it's not fair.
But where exactly do you hold him responsible? Where have you fought? Because what the former president has said at that particular interview is almost what some other people have said back home, that the Goodluck Jonathan administration hasn't been handling it properly well, and he said the same thing. You say he shouldn't have said so. Should we all keep mute or mum in the face of this challenge?
No, we shouldn't. You see, Suleiman, being a broadcaster have elevated you to certain platform. There are certain things that Kenny in the technical section will say, and it is acceptable, but if it comes from you, it is not. You have said that everybody in Nigeria is saying the same thing, including me. But I am not a former president of Nigeria. When Obasanjo goes to the international community, they see Nigeria. Therefore, what we expect a cultured man of such elevation and an elder statesman of such integrity to say is simply that Nigeria is working hard to arrest its security development, security challenges. And you stop at that. Now, to issue the caveat of stick and carrot approach shows that the President Jonathan is failing. Even if he is failing, he is our president until 2015 when we decide otherwise. Therefore, as patriotic Nigerians, we must rally behind our president. It is difficult to see a Jimmy Carter come to CNN or to an international forum and begin to show differences between him and Barack Obama, or even George Bush, who is from a different party, to go to an international forum and show that Obama didn't do well in the past 4 years economically. But these are matured elder statesmen. And it appears, in my own choice of word, we have had simplicity of elder statesman rascality, not only in the form of former President Obasanjo. Few days ago, a newspaper published that the former president, head of state, Buhari, said that if 2015 is rigged, Nigeria will break apart. We, the common Nigerians, are suffering from bad behaviors of these former leaders. And it is not fair to the generality of Nigerians. So they have to really modulate the way they speak. And this is where General Babangida stands out. He shows class behavior. Even when he feels indifferent, he goes to the National Council of State and do the same thing. And General Yakubu Gowon shows class. He goes to the Council of State and offers his opinion. Abdul Salam shows class. M.S. Shonekon, they are all former heads of state. Shehu Shagari, are you telling me that they don't have any apprehensions about what is going on? But they have what I call individual respect for a sitting president, and therefore they control what they say publicly.
So let's get you straight here. What you quarrel with is not the content of what he said, in the sense that a host of people have said that. We also remember that former retired General Aguayo also said the same thing when asked by one of our correspondents. He talked about the carrot and stick approach. Is also a point of view you also share. So you're not exactly questioning the integrity of what he said. You're questioning the appropriateness of the forum in which he said it. Is that what you take exception to?
Let me first of all welcome you back from your loss of voice, Mope. You are very apt in your elucidation. There are classification of people. There are things because you, Channels Television and other media, have elevated me as an analyst, that I cannot be found saying, because then it denigrates my personality. But if somebody else who is related to me says it, it is acceptable. I am saying, I have said this before on this television, that what we lost, the missed opportunity from the military perspective, was when the military went in and arrested Yusuf Foy and handed him over to the police. It was a big mistake. The 3,000 or so men and women that were put in various prisons without any interrogation should have been considered rehabilitative material. They should have been put in secondary schools, primary schools, and the rehabilitation process to reintegrate them into being proper Nigerians should have started. But we missed that opportunity. And that landed us to where we are. And I'm saying that there is nothing wrong in our government saying to the people of Northeast Nigeria, and I have said this year repeatedly, that there's a time for the President and Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces of Nigeria to visit Yobe and make a categorical statement to the citizens of Yobe that the federal government feel their pain, feel the devastation wrought on them, and the federal government will help to, again, remediate any kind of devastation. You're not going to tell anybody in the international community that the generality of Yobe citizens are Boko Haram. Neither are the generalities of Borno citizens Boko Haram. The current governor of Borno State is doing what he needs to do to reintegrate certain elements into the society. Therefore, there must be a time before 2015 election and before the census when a president must go and give code of confidence to her citizens. And I can say this, but once I am in the international arena and I'm asked this same question, I must find a pattern to answer it to favor my country, because what I say at that particular point in time can be captured as a negative stance against my country. And that is what you have said is very correct. This is where I beg to differ with my former president and elder statesman, General Olusegun Obasanjo.